Part 2, Ralph Malf and Potsy show. We'll have a look at Flemington race by race, and Potsy touched on this in part 1. Flemington played perfectly.
That was racing perfection. So, like, to Mick Goody and his team, I mean, just unbelievable. That track is in such magnificent condition, and it will race well throughout the spring.
Right, it's got that base that you want to see. Yep. And again, we have to say this, and we're going to extend it to the only thing we'll say about Winx. This is the reason why it's so important not to be over-watering the tracks year round like some people want. Because if Mick had watered it, or had a policy of over-watering it, that track on Saturday wouldn't have been perfect, it would have been a tip.
Yeah, it would. Well,
because rain hit on Friday night.
Yeah, it was fit. Well, in the end, there was probably 16 mils of rain.
Yep.
Before race, like
16 mil.
I was out there talking to Mick on Thursday, and I said, like, you must be agonising over whether you know what to do, and he goes, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I'm trusting the forecast. They're really strong that there's going to be at least 10 on Friday night.
Yep.
So look, that's how diligent he is. And I can say to punters now, when I walked the track on Thursday, it had moisture in it. It was a good 3, but it had good moisture in it. So
yes.
It was never going to be a jarry type track. So, you know, like, you just got to leave people like Mick Goody to do their job, because they are unbelievably good at it. You know?
I just realised we're at an angle for the rest of the show, but that's all right. No, leave it there. Everyone, just tip your computer screen up a little bit.
There we go.
and so, because I see Vince's Sydney data, Randwick has been like that through August and September. Yep. Winx has had 3 runs on. Is Chris Waller saying we're pulling the pin? So, and this is just you're arguing with mathematics if you want to argue with that. So horses love firm ground. Righto.
Can I say I heard some very funny commentary on Winx this morning on the verdict by our man, the cherry picker.
Did he? What did he do?
Honestly.
What did he do? I
just say that.
What was he trying to say?
Firm tracks where they're running really quick, fast on exciting racing tends to compress the field. Really heavy testing tracks tends to stretch the field.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason she's not winning by the big margin she has previously, because of the nature of the tracks. It's not. She's running a figure. It's just allowing. So the chinks in other horses will get exposed on the more testing the track, right? So when you've got a champion like her exposing every chink in the other horses, others will disappear out of the race, particularly on a testing track. Yeah. Whereas on a firm track where they're running quick times, there'll be horses that get the right run and are able to stay a bit closer to her. But trying to use the margin she's winning by somehow to suggest she's not going her best, well, I mean, I just wish that these people that make these cases actually bet. That'd be good. I'd love them to want to layer in the Cox Plate. That'd be delightful.
Well, I don't know if Dominic Byrne knows what he's talking about. Top of his tree for what, 30, 40 years. I saw him tweet out this morning that the reality was Happy Clappers ran absolutely out of his skin, and it is a very good horse. So there's Winx, there's Happy Clapper, there's the rest. So if you want to argue with Dom, do your best, and then go have a drink at the soup kitchen. It's fair to go.
Anyway. I did forget one thing in my previous intro, Ralphie, where we here again at the All Nations.
Oh, go Tigers.
The home of the Tigers. It's been painted in Tigers regalia, and was featured in the Herald Sun yesterday. Yeah. So this will be a very lively place to be.
Poppy. Yes. All right, race 1. Well, I was in agony because of Jordan. All the time blokes went for it, and then it had that little drift out. Did it not handle the straight, or was it just plain disappointing?
So I think a lot of horses there ran to about their mark, so that says that she's disappointing.
Yeah.
Now, on reflection, I think I could have marked her somewhere between $3 and 5 to 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I went a bit more aggressive than that because I wanted to back horses out of that race that she'd ran in Sydney.
Yeah.
On reflection, I think that race that she ran in, that Pariah 1, you needed to go up in distance from that race, really.
Okay.
Staying at the same distance was what penalised her, and I think that's largely behind why she was laid late.
Yes.
I think some very smart operators identified that, which I didn't prior to the race. And as soon as I went after the race, I said, yes, that's why. So
if I bracket in Esperance, Hartnell's a bit of a different story, but if I bracket in Esperance, can we also say that I think some of the smart players would have said, well, I'm not yet trusting the Blue Jackets in Melbourne, basically since Paul Snowden left. I struggle to get real confident about it. Now, there was that clear out of John O'Shea's Melbourne operation there when John was there. James has now taken over. He's hit the ground running in Sydney. I think the queries still have to be there. Not definitive, but I think queries still have to be there on the Melbourne operation, whether you can bet horses with confidence.
Yeah, perhaps. Yep. I'm thinking they'll be better deeper into their preps.
I'd love to be proven wrong. Yeah. No, nothing personal. So Royal Symphony was just bloody super.
Yeah.
Anything more?
And
what was the odds on? Tell me this.
No, well, I actually thought of the trade in the 240 to even perhaps 280 range, because to me it was a track where you were going to be better off being in the front half of the field, and it was going to be in the back half, and it was likely to be buried too. But the sort of thing that happened, and there was like interest in other runners, which I expected. However, even despite all the interest in other runners, the big team just said no, this is a high class horse, and just kept forcing the price in. So
there'll be winners out of this race.
Yep. So.
They ran time, as you said. Horses love it. Race 3, the answer, my friend. We've got the new Regal Roller.
That's probably not a bad comparison. I think he's probably got a bit more scope than Regal Roller, because I think he could probably get to 2,000 metres maybe, but not that he has to.
I'm sure they'll take it.
Yeah, not that he has to. You know what I mean? Like he's just going to keep improving this horse.
Yeah.
So.
He's to you hope DK's alright with me borrowing it. He's a line chaser, isn't he?
Yeah,
he loves it. So there'll probably be a bit of depth here. Mr. Sneaky will improve again. Count Da Vinci up a distance, so probably not a bad race.
Yep.
Race 4. Well, Red Kirk, did you open your shoulders there?
I had a good bet, but I paid a fine and saved late on Scales of Justice, because I agonised over that, because when we had Rexy on, him and I had a discussion about the WA horses and how well they're going, and
it's good horse.
I just sort of thought maybe 1,200's not right for him, so I sort of marked him $9, which is as long as I could have marked him, but I could have marked him like as short as $5. You know?
And why didn't you like Voodoo Lad?
I just don't think he's nearly the same horse at Flemington.
So I'm going back to Jordan. We'll get to Esperance, but maybe I'll include Voodoo Lad now. I tend to just focus on the numbers, how fast I run, and don't tend to worry about track to tracks. But maybe like the old Mark Lambourne thing, 1,000 metre races are its own beast. Maybe straight racing is its own beast too.
There's definitely a bit of that, and I think, first of all, Voodoo Lad has an impeccable first up record. Beyond that, it's a bit mixed.
Yes.
But his first up is always good. So, to me, his Flemington runs have all been anywhere between a length and maybe 3 or 4 lengths worse at Flemington.
So what do you reckon, Scalacci back at Caulfield, give a little freshen up, and then when he's on the bit,
Yeah, well, Caulfield seems to be the right track for him. So.
All right, give me a toin toss. Red Kirk Warrior or Vega Magic. If you had one slot to put in the Everest, which one would you choose?
Assuming good ground, Vega Magic.
Yeah, so. Well, Catchy look good. Data not great, and we've got apples to apples with Red Kirk. What's your thoughts, and what were your thoughts in? What were your thoughts out?
No, I really like Catchy, and what I like about her is she's a really powerful filly. So she's got a lot up her sleeve, and she gets a sight on the horse in front of her, whoever it might be, and she just chases after them. And she doesn't win by big margins. So she won exactly as I expected her to win. So if the other horses had gone a length better, she just would have still beat them. You know what I mean? So
Esperance disappointing for mine. For you?
He ran okay. He's just not finished article. You know what I mean? Well, I just don't know what they're going to do with that. They need to strain him out. That'll help him. So, but he does way too much wrong. He's not racing efficiently, and at this level, you have to race efficiently. So,
in race 6, only very, very, very good judges found sort of light.
Yes.
So, and this is what I touched on before in part 1 about where the chat with you helped me, because I said about I was struggling with some slow races and just missing, and you said, well, so I threw, when you had a bad patch, you threw in an extra horse.
Yeah.
I was really keen on Oregon's Day, EIPH, and I Am a Star. Query if it's come up now, I think we have to ask.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'll be sick if Damien Lane just owns this race and sort of light that it runs to its best. I'll have a little bit of it. Yeah. And that was the difference. That chat with you in August was why I did that. So you had a similar mindset?
Yep, absolute ditto there. Snap is the word I was looking for.
There it is.
I looked to me to be 2 obvious chances in the race, I'm a Star and Oregon's Day.
Yep.
And the map horse in the race was sort of light, and I thought, I can't let you go around against me. And it got out to very good odds. So
not great time, but I'd say now we know she can, when she's fit, she can run fast. So she's probably the horse to beat next time as well.
Yep. She did some good things last prep.
No doubt. Humidor, well, he's a star.
Yeah, it's a very good horse. I didn't bet in this race. I didn't really like Hartnell.
What'd you price Hartnell?
$1.90, and I've got to be honest, I cheated to get him that short.
I had 230. Same reason.
My original market was probably closer to where you were, and I sort of pinched a bit of percentage of a bunch of horses.
Yep.
Now I actually had something on Humidor second up, which, because of that day, I was thinking the field structure with the strong headwind.
Yeah, that's right.
And it didn't happen, and we had John Sadler scratching the leader. So I sort of just left me a bit cold with this race. But in hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, letting Humidor go round at that price, unbacked, third up.
Well, you didn't lose in the race, though.
No, I didn't lose in the race.
Yeah, because you didn't bet. But you probably wouldn't expect them to go that quick. And they flew.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So they've probably buggered up Haydock and Lee Romain for the prep. And Hartnell, it's going to be hard for him to recover off that.
It was 28 days between runs. That was the big issue I had with backing him.
That's even worse.
Yeah,
so 28 days has been a real hard run. Don't know. Anyway, but Humidor's a star. Just delighted I didn't back him for the Caulfield Cup last week. Well, he's probably still over.
Well, I mean, I have to say that there's no... He's only had two 2,400 metre runs, and he was beaten 6 lengths in both of them. Okay, one of them was in New Zealand before he was with Darren Weir.
The one's on a wet track.
The one's on other one's on a wet track, so you don't know.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I'd say I'm supremely confident about that horse at 2,000 metres.
Yes.
2,400 is just a completely different beast. So yeah, I'm not sure.
I reckon most years, well, the Seamus Award type year, it should be boots and all, Cox Plate,
Yeah.
But there you go. That's racing. Race 8, Al Mandan. Well, I mean, those who just want to say that it's just because of age, well, he missed 2 years racing before going to Team Williams. He only had one prep with him. He's flying.
Yeah, I'm finally cured here. I'm finally cured. Right? So
what you do?
Now, in this time last year, earlier, so in July, and I think it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was backing I backed Al Mandan at Moonee Valley.
Yeah.
Beaten 3 or 4 lengths in 2,000 metres,
Yeah.
and I really ploughed into him at what I thought were good odds at Flemington.
Yeah.
Beaten 5 lengths by Kalani Kidd, I think it was. And I'm sorry. Then all of a sudden, he turns up in the Bart Cummings, and visually I watched it and thought, wow.
Yeah.
But then, subsequently sort of just marked him down a little bit. Didn't mark him as strongly as I should have in the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Even though I sort of marked him $15 and gave him a good chance. I probably should have, And then this time he ran really well. First up at Moonee Valley, and I thought, well, you're probably a run short, and the stable probably wants to win that race on Saturday with other horses.
Yeah.
Now,
Overthinking.
I did save on the horse. Okay,
Yes.
so I didn't lose on the race.
Yeah.
However, when I was watching the race,
Yeah.
and at about the 400, I finally twigged. I went, once you get past a mile and a half, you're actually a champion. And it's almost impossible to beat you at a mile and a half plus.
Okay.
So now I'm finally cured, and good luck beating this horse.
Damien Oliver, since Fiorente won the Melbourne Cup, including Fiorente, single figure odds runners, 2,500 or more. He had 21 rides for 12 wins.
That's a good record.
52%. I reckon he knows what he's doing, that bloke. Hardham wins the last.
Mate, I'm a bit dirty. How Ollie got beat on Falika last week at Mornington is a bit beyond me, so I'm a bit,
Where do you reckon he makes his mark?
Yeah.
That's butters for you. Hardham, he'll improve. Was a soft tempo race. I did a little bit of damage there, but not much on a winning day. What did you do last?
I backed the Weir mare, Emily Starr.
Oh, me, you both, yeah. And had a bit of drift, probably next start, 2,000.
Yeah.
That's 15 minutes up to where done.
Yep.
All this.